Welcome back, y'all, and today I'm gonna show you how I prepare frozen fish food. When it comes to being able to give a nice, balanced, varied diet to your fish, a lot of people turn to the frozen fish food. Now, frozen food does tend to be a little bit more expensive than the freeze-dried foods, but it is considered one of the healthier options next to feeding live foods. Now, most people don't really prefer to feed live foods or deal with live foods. There aren't a whole lot of people out there like me that keep a bunch of different types of worms in the fridge. But for those of you who love taking care of your fish and aren't a big fan of live, frozen's where it's at. Now, I really like the freshwater multi-pack. It comes with 4 different types of foods. That's my personal preference because I don't like having 9 million different packs of different types of frozen foods in my freezer. I prefer just having 1 or 2 different things in there at a time. And like I said, these types of things can get a little pricey. So when you're trying to give as varied of a diet as possible, this is a nice little deal. So there are a few different methods for preparing frozen food. Some people will just throw the cube in their tank. I don't personally like throwing a cube of frozen food in my tank. For one, it's frozen, it's a frozen cube, so if you don't have a very large tank, you're gonna change the temperature of the water. If you don't have enough fish to consume this much food, if you just throw the cube in there, you're gonna end up with a mess and some really nasty water. So without further ado, let me show you how I get this ready for my fish tanks. So this whole process is super easy, and it really helps keep your water from getting fouled up from putting this just directly into your tank, or even thawing it out and just dividing it up and putting small portions in your tank. So first things first, I have a bowl of dechlorinated water. Now, some people will just use tank water. I have multiple tanks, so I don't really like to potentially cross-contaminate. So I just get a fresh bowl of dechlorinated water. Then, of course, we're going to want to pop out enough food to feed our fish with. Now, I only need about 1 cube of food, so I'm just gonna pop out 1 cube into the bowl. So I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes so that it can completely thaw out. Now, yes, again, you can just plop a cube into a bowl, but I find that putting it in the dechlorinated water or putting it in some tank water helps to thaw it out a lot faster. So like I said, I'm gonna give this a few minutes and let it completely thaw out, and I will be right back. Okay, now that our bloodworms are all nice and completely thawed out, now I just use a fish net, but maybe you use a sifter or something like that. Something that the holes on the netting are gonna be too small for the worms to go through, just the water. So basically I'm just going to dump the bloodworms into the net and rinse them off and then place them back into the bowl. And now it's time to go ahead and feed our fish. So anyway, guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!